I think we'll get started. Okay. Hey everyone, good morning. Thank you for joining in. So I'll just introduce our host for today.
I think we'll get started.
Pranav, sorry, but is there some echo from my side?
Hey everyone, good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in.
Not sure why.
So I'll just introduce our host for
Is it better now?
Yes, it is better.
Okay. All right. So I'll just quickly introduce Pranav and then we'll get started with the webinar. So just a bit of housekeeping before we do. So we'll walk you through Dhan's and small cases integration and how it is different from other brokers. Then we will show you a live demo on how you can buy small cases on Dhan, and then we open the floor to Q&A. So please do ask us a lot of questions. Happy to help you. So just introducing Pranav now. Welcome, Pranav. So glad you are here with us today and to walk us through small case and Dhan's integration.
Glad to
So,
be
folks,
here.
Pranav comes with more than 6 years of professional experience. He's an NSIM certified professional and he's also involved in investor education through webinars and videos since a very long time. And he hails from Bangalore and is passionate about educating responsible investing for his audiences. So, welcome, Pranav, and over to you now.
Thanks a lot for the introduction, Shraddha. So basically, the reason why we are having today's session is to try to discuss what small case investments basically mean. And if the audience is aware, the word small case has actually exploded in the last 6 odd years amongst investors. And there is a reason to it. And even today, when we take a look at the markets, a lot of users question us as to what a small case basically means. And there are a lot of misconceptions about what a small case could be, and so on and so forth. So what we will be doing in today's session is to basically show all investors and traders as to how they can start their investment journey with a product called a small case. And we'll be showing you the flow of how the orders get placed on the small case platform. We'll try to explain to you how small case as a product is very beneficial for you as retail investors, how you can basically track a portfolio's performance in advance, how you'll get to know what you're buying in advance, and how basically you can stay invested for the long run. So before we start off into the core details of what a small case is, let us first understand a couple of things about small cases. So in the last 6 odd years, small case, I'm happy to say that as a platform, we have managed to cross about 50 lakh users on the platform. And this is quite an achievement for the platform as such. And it is a testament to how good the platform is when users comment about how well accustomed they are to the platform. And coming to the core details of what a small case is. So let us try to understand that with an example. So basically, when we talk about small cases in general, one thing that users want to inquire is a small case like any other product out there in the market? Is the small case a direct equity product? And how am I going to benefit from a small case? So first thing we need to understand is, what is a small case? Let us just rewind time back by about 5 to 6 years. How would you go about investing in the markets? The first thing that you would do after opening, a trading in Demat account is first you would try to find out the list of stocks you're comfortable with. Maybe the advice has come from a friend. It could have come from a colleague. It could have come from a news channel or a research report. But basically, what are you trying to do as an investor or a trader? You're trying to figure out which stock you should participate in. And then you're taking a position in that particular stock. Now, to what degree is that investment going to work out is very subjective. So maybe the investment works out, maybe it doesn't. At what point you're entering might be clear to you, might not be clear to you. More importantly, at what point should you exit is always a question mark. And these are things that a small case can clarify for you. So what is a small case? You can think of a small case as a basket of stocks or a direct equity portfolio, which has been designed to track a specific theme or a strategy or an objective. So essentially, what is happening here is smallcase is a platform on top of which a lot of direct equity portfolios are present. So these portfolios could include strategy-based portfolios. For example, we could have momentum-based portfolios. We could have thematic portfolios. We could have certain ideas which we have made into a portfolio and we have placed it on the platform. So anybody who believes in an idea while browsing through the portfolios can basically invest in the idea directly. So the idea could be something like dividend-based investing, for example. The idea could be investing in electric sector stocks where there's a lot of transition happening. People are moving towards electric vehicles. So if you believe that electric vehicles is the future, it is the way to go, then we have a portfolio where we have curated only those set of stocks which are actually manufacturing electric vehicles or supplying ancillary products to electric vehicles or related to that particular sector. So if that sector grows or if that particular idea grows, then this portfolio is set to benefit out of it. So basically, I hope you are getting the idea of what a small case is. It's a basket of stocks which is tracking a particular theme. And we as investors can browse through a lot of themes, select the theme or the strategy which we like, and then we are going to invest in that. So this is what we mean by small cases. For the audience who have queries about anything that we are conducting in this particular session, feel free to head over to the Q&A section or the chat box, post it over there, and we will be taking up the questions at the end of the session. So moving on, what we are going to do is try to understand with an example as to what a small case is, right? Now, in traditional investing, we are basically picking up a position in one particular stock. Now, this stock could be, for example, Adani Enterprises, it could be HDFC, it could be Kotak, or maybe you pick up one or two stocks. But ultimately, we have to question ourselves. Are we designing a portfolio for ourselves? And how much confidence do we have on this particular basket? Now, confidence could be very subjective. I could be confident because I have designed my own basket or I have picked out my own stocks based on the research that I'm getting. But is this enough to be confident about that particular idea? The answer is no, because this confidence is driven by our own assumptions as to how the basket can perform. But how do we exactly gauge how the performance of a basket could be probably? The only way to gauge that is by understanding the performance of the basket which has been curated already and has been present in the markets for some time. For example, what if there is a basket called XYZ which has seen three different market conditions: bullish markets, bearish markets, and normal markets? Now, because this basket has seen three different it has seen three different market conditions. Now, we will be able to arrive at a conclusion whether this basket is doing well or not, which we will not be able to do when we pick one or two set of stocks and start investing in the markets. So some of the advantages of single stock investing or the traditional way of investing is: one, there is lack of diversification because we are not curating a portfolio. There is a higher risk because if just one or two of these stocks don't do well for whatever reason, the entire portfolio stands at risk and we are not really building wealth. And then third one, there is a complete disregard for strategy. So if you're all aware, about 90% of new investors who come to the markets end up losing in the markets. The reason being that they do not come with a proper strategy. They don't come with a predefined strategy that this is what is actually going to work, or this is how it has worked in previous market conditions. So I'm going to choose stocks based only out of that particular strategy. Most of us don't do this, including me when I was new to the markets. Then fourth one is lack of research. So this is a very common tendency. We tend to fall for so much of a plethora of information that is coming out there. It could come from news, it could come from friends, it could come from colleagues, and we'll end up taking positions, which is essentially lack of research. And the fifth most important problem is there is not an advisor to support you. It is a completely do-it-yourself kind of setup where I come, I open an account, and I'm basically going through lots of information and trying to, collate all of it and making a portfolio out of it. or making or buying a single stock out of it. So essentially, it becomes a do-it-yourself kind of investing. Now, these are all the downsides of single stock investing. And even though we are aware about it as investors, somehow it turns out that, we still continue doing the same thing over and over again, and we are expecting things to change. So this is where small case as a concept actually comes into picture. So now what does a small case do? So small case, since it's a basket of stocks which has been designed by a SEBI registered advisor, now this basket is well diversified by nature. So over here, rest assured, you're investing in a direct portfolio. And because you're investing in a portfolio, the risk is quite low. And then again, every small case is backed by a specific strategy. Now, this strategy could be anything. It could be any strategy that you like. And fourth one is every stock in this particular portfolio is backed by research, which means that there is a SEBI registered advisor who is sitting and taking a look at all the set of stocks which is coming into that basket, and they very well know why they have put that stock over there. And these are the couple of reasons why small cases tend to be, I would say, in a way, much superior to investing in a single stock which is backed without research. So if these are the things that small cases are good at, then what else do I know as investor?
Just a moment. I'm reclaiming host for a bit, okay? Just a moment. I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just make you the host now.
Sure.
Yeah, please continue.
Yes, sure. So as investors, what are some of the things that we can understand about these portfolios before we start our investing journey? So in a small case, what are you first going to get? You'll be understanding the portfolio constituents. Before we invest, the first thing that we need to understand is how do we start and what are we going to get? So when you're investing in a small case, as you can see, you get a breakup of all the set of stocks we are investing in and all the set of sectors also that we are participating in. Apart from that, as investors, what is the one thing that we need to know? We need to know whether our portfolio is giving good returns or is performing well, correct? Now, on the small case platform, we track everything about a small case. Before you invest and after you invest, you have complete idea of how the portfolio has performed during different market conditions and how has it performed ever since it was launched. So I'll be showing all of this to all the users after sharing my screen and showing you on the platform directly. So now, apart from this, every small case is a dynamic portfolio. What do we mean by this? If we take a look at any static portfolio, what do I mean by a static portfolio? मान लीजिए अगर आपको आज invest करना है and you designed a basket or you invested in a basket which has 10 stocks inside of it. Now, these 10 stocks could be good as of today's market condition. But what about 1 year from today, 2 years from today, 3 years from today? This portfolio, which is good today, might not be good 1 year from today, depending on that day's market condition. So it has to change or evolve with the market, right? So any small case that is available on the platform goes through something called as rebalancing. Now, what is rebalancing? Let us say you have invested in a portfolio which has 10 stocks, a small case which has 10 stocks. Now, if the market condition starts changing or evolving with time, then over a period of time, what we are going to do is when the market condition changes, we will start changing or the advisor will change the set of stocks inside of it. So for example, let us say we have Adani Enterprises and we have Bajaj Finance as two of the stocks among the top 10 stocks in the portfolio. Now, let us say for some reason, we want to change these two stocks because it could have performed very well and now is not expected to perform well. Or for example, it is not performing well or not fitting into the investment criteria. Now, because of this, these stocks need to be removed and other stocks need to be added in its place. Now, because of this, we or the advisor of the basket will continuously keep changing the portfolio's constituents with time. So this is what we mean by rebalancing. So every small case undergoes this process called as rebalancing. Now, all this is good theory wise, but what we will be doing right now is taking you on the platform directly, and we will be showing you what these small cases are essentially all about. Okay, so allow me to share my screen.
Hey Pranav, since you're the host right now, can you just disable the chat for till the time we are done with the demo?
Sure. Sure. It's been done.
Okay, thank you.
So now what we are going to do is directly head over to the Dhan platform, and we are going to directly take a look at the small cases that are available over here. So first, when I come to Dhan, what I'll have to do as a customer, or what you have to do as a customer, is head over to products, and over here you can find small cases on Dhan listed over there, right? So you can, the first thing that you need to do is click on small cases on Dhan, and now you'll have to scroll down till you find discover all small cases listed over here. So now we can click on discover all small cases, and now we'll be redirected to smallcases.dhan.co. So over here, basically, all of us can see multiple portfolios. There is something called all-weather investing. There's something called equity and gold. Then we find dividend aristocrats, electric mobility, safe haven, rising rural demand, and so on. Essentially, what are these? These are all portfolios, small case portfolios. Okay. Now, first, what we'll have to do to understand about everything about a basket is we'll have to log into the platform. So in order to do that, on the top right, I have the login button displayed over here. So you can click on login and now input your registered mobile number. And now input your password. Now click on login. Input your PIN. And now as a user, I have managed to log into the platform. So once I've logged in, the same set of information is visible to me. But let us now try to understand with an example as to what a small case really is. Let us take the first example, something called dividend aristocrats, which I'm randomly picking out. So we can see multiple sets of data points, multiple sets of information being projected to us as investors. Let us try to understand what it is about. Every small case portfolio has a name attached to it. So that name will be displayed over here. For this portfolio, it is called dividend aristocrats. Now, every small case has a small case manager who is a SEBI registered manager who is managing that portfolio, designing that portfolio, rebalancing that portfolio as and when required. So that particular manager's name will be mentioned here. In this case, it says managed by Windmill Capital. And in one single line, all of you as investors will be able to see what this particular small case is about in one single line. Here it says companies that have been consistently increasing dividends. So here basically that means we are investing as investors in this portfolio, and this portfolio is consisting of companies which have been constantly increasing their dividends. Now, when we scroll down, there is a detailed description written by this particular fund manager as to what this small case is all about. So here we can see that this small case consists of companies which have been increasing their dividend payouts continuously for the last 10 years. Now, as investors, we got to know that this particular basket में हम लोग invest कर रहे हैं सिर्फ dividend based companies में, and जहां पे dividends constantly increase होते जा रहा है. So we understood that as investors. Now, think as an investor, what else would you like to know about a particular basket? Now, if I were to come and tell you that this is a basket of dividend-based stocks, you would say, all right, fine, but show me the constituents, right? That would be your next question. So next to the overview section, you have stocks and weights available. So you can click on stocks and weights. Now, what are the sets of information that we can derive out of it? The number of stocks present in this portfolio is 12. We have something called as a rebalance frequency, which is annual, which I'll inform all of you about in just a couple of minutes. When we scroll down, we are also able to see the market cap distribution. So if you invest in this portfolio today, you will be investing 66% of your capital in large cap stocks, 16% in mid cap stocks, and 16% in small cap stocks. And then if you scroll down even further, you will be able to see all the set of stocks in this particular portfolio, and you will be able to see the segment composition. So we can see that paint sector has 8.3% weightage in this portfolio, out of which we have Asian Paints. Similarly, under building products, we have Astral, which has 8% weightage. Home financing, we have HDFC, FMCG, Hindustan Unilever, IT services, Infosys, and so on and so on and so on, till we find oil and gas, in which we have a position in Reliance Industries. So now, apart from this, when I go to this particular pie chart, we are able to see that paint sector, this is sector-wise breakup, where we are able to see that paint sector has 8.3% weightage, building products has 8.3%, home financing has 8.3%, and so on. So in this, when you're investing in a basket like this, in advance, all of you as investors get to know where you're investing, what set of stocks are you investing in, which sector are you investing in, how many stocks are you going to get by investing in this particular portfolio, what is the market cap distribution of this portfolio, am I holding large caps more, am I holding small caps more, and so on. Now, there is something called rebalance frequency mentioned over here, which is annual. So like I was discussing, every small case undergoes a process called as rebalancing. Jahan pe, for example, let us say that there is a fund manager, Windmill Capital, who has designed this basket. So मान लीजिए as an example, Asian Paints and Astral don't tend to do well, or they stop giving dividends. तो ये basket तो है जिसमें हम लोग सिर्फ dividend based stocks में invest करने वाले हैं. लेकिन अभी ये दो stock, that is Asian Paints and Astral, stopped giving dividends. So can this be a part of this portfolio? The answer is no. So at that point of time, it should be removed. So that process, जहां पे हम जो stocks dividends देना बंद कर देंगे, उसको हम इस portfolio से निकाल रहे हैं, और उसके जगह में जो dividends देने वाले हैं, उसको हम add करने वाले हैं, उसको हम बुलाते हैं rebalancing. तो इस portfolio में annual rebalancing होता है. इसका मतलब है once in a year, this portfolio is continuously monitored. And once in a year, whichever stocks need to be removed, they will be removed. And whichever stocks need to be added in its place, they will be added. So that is called as rebalancing. So what else do you need to know as investors? So now you got to know the name of the small case, who is managing that, what the small case basically does, what are the set of stocks, what are the set of sectors, what is the market cap distribution, how many stocks am I going to get, what is the rebalance frequency, last rebalance, when was it done, next rebalancing, when will it be done, and so on. Now, what else do we need to know? The most important concept, that is, ये portfolio कितना देती है? As investors, this is the most important query we have, right? So that is called as performance meter, which will be listed over here नीचे. So when you come to the small case page, when you scroll down, for any small case, you as investors or traders will be able to see how much this portfolio has delivered in terms of returns. So I'll show you and make you understand what you're able to see on the screen. So यहाँ पे max बोल के automatically selected है, and यहाँ पे हमको दो graph दिख रहा है. One is a blue color graph and the other one is an orangish color graph. So blue color graph is basically showing us this particular portfolio's performance, which is dividend aristocrats performance, and yellow graph is basically showing us the equity large caps performance. So how do we understand this? पहले अगर हम माउस को पहले तक लेके जाते हैं स्क्रॉल करके, so we are able to see dividend aristocrats 100 inside the small box, equity large cap 100, and उसके नीचे as on April 4, 2016. So what do we understand from this? This portfolio was launched on April 4, 2016 on the platform. And if we had invested 100 rupees in dividend aristocrats and 100 rupees in equity large cap index, आज तक वो कितना बढ़ता. So 100 rupees invested in dividend aristocrats as on April 2016 would have become 307 as of today, which means as investors, we would have gotten 207% return. Similarly, equity large cap में अगर हम 100 invest करते तो वही 100 आज बन जाता 199 as a value. It means 99% returns. So this small case has given 207% return. Equity large cap has only given 99% return. So it is more than double. And similarly, if we want to understand latest 5 years में कितना दिया है, तो हम यहाँ पे 5 years click कर सकते हैं. And we can see from here that dividend aristocrats from 100 has become 233, which means as an investor, I would have got 133% return. उसी time पे if I put it in the large cap index, मुझे मिलता 60% return. Similarly, 3 years में dividend aristocrats would have given 89% return, large cap would have given just 33% return. 1 year returns and 1 month returns. Everything is trackable. For example, 1 month returns में equity large cap would have given a -4% return, whereas dividend aristocrats would have given a +2.7% return. इसके अलावा आप SIP returns भी check कर सकते हैं as investors. So now we have completely understood how to analyze a small case and understand by reading it. Now every small case has a minimum investment amount attached to it. तो वो minimum investment amount यहाँ पे आपको दिखाई देगा. तो in this particular small case, the minimum investment amount is 40,000 rupees, and it can vary depending on small case. कोई एक small case हो सकता है जिसमें minimum ticket size है 5,000 rupees. दूसरा small case हो सकता है जिसमें minimum ticket size हो, for example, 10,000. Another could be 15. It could be 1 lakh. It could really depend. Now यहाँ पे आपको 6 year CAGR बोल के दिख रहा है. So 6 year CAGR means average 6 years में कितना returns मिल रहा है on a yearly basis. So per year on an average 20% is what this portfolio is returning for us as investors. Now what else or how else can we segregate small cases depending on our requirement? So to do that, एक बार हमको discover पे आना पड़ेगा and एक बार all small cases पे click करना पड़ेगा. तो यहाँ पे we are able to see multiple portfolios, right? How do we find out which is the best performing portfolio? What we are going to do is go to the sort by feature. ऊपर यहाँ पे sort by में यहाँ पे हमको returns के नीचे time period दिख रहा है. If we want to understand the best small cases in the last 5 years, then we are going to click on 5 years here. So we can see that IT Tracker has given 254% return. We can see Dividend Aristocrats has given 133% return. Safe Haven has given 92, Growth and Income 85, and so on. Similarly, last 3 years में हमको return समझना है, तो we can click on 3 years. We can see the same thing: IT Tracker, Pharma Tracker, Dividend Aristocrats, Digital Inclusion, and so on. Last 1 year, we can click on 1 year, and we'll be able to see the returns. So this is how you segregate small cases to see whether you are investing in a top performing small case or not. इसके अलावा और क्या कर सकते हैं हम? If we want to start with a lesser minimum ticket size, for example 5,000 rupees of investment, then यहाँ पे left side पे investment amount के नीचे we can click on under 5,000. So when we do this, we are able to see all the small cases in which the minimum ticket size starts with just less than 5,000 rupees. For example, we have something called all-weather investing, which is an ETF-based portfolio, which is built to perform in all sorts of market conditions. As you can see here, March COVID crisis में भी ये portfolio का drawdown उतना ज़्यादा नहीं है compared to the market. So basically, as investors, what we can do on platforms like Smallcase is come to the platform, use these filter options. For example, investment amount, it could be volatility levels, which is risk levels, investment strategies which we like. यहाँ पे हमारे पास asset allocation strategies है, dividend based strategies है, goal based investing है, growth based investing है, and so on. So we can choose the strategy we like. For example, if we like asset allocation, we can click on asset allocation and asset allocation based strategies come up. If we like investing in growth based sector or growth based stocks, then we can click on growth, and growth based portfolios यहाँ पे reflect हो जाएगा, and so on. So now once we know this, how do we as investors invest in any of these baskets? So the first thing that we'll have to do is select the portfolio that we like. So in this case, what am I going to do? I'm going to do it in a small case so that all of you can maybe test it out today. So I'm going to choose a small case called equity and gold, जहां पे हम दो ETF में invest करते हैं, एक Nifty 50 ETF और एक है गोल्ड बेस ETF। तो इस पोर्टफोलियो में अगर मुझे इन्वेस्ट करना है तो पहले आई वांट टू फर्स्ट मेक श्योर दैट आई हैव दिस मिनिमम टिकट साइज अवेलेबल इन माय धन अकाउंट। सो यहां पे क्या होने वाला है, आपका फंड्स धन अकाउंट से डेबिट हो जाएगा एंड दीज स्टॉक्स और ETFs will get credited back to your own Dhan account. So over here, you'll be able to see the portfolio directly from your Dhan account. So here, once I make sure that this minimum investment amount is available, what I'm going to do is click on Invest Now. Once I click on Invest Now, the system will give me two options. Either start a monthly SIP or make a one-time investment. अगर मुझे एक ही बार इन्वेस्ट करना है इस पोर्टफोलियो में तो मैं वन टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट चूज कर लूंगा. And once I choose this, I can either go with the minimum ticket size displayed or I can even change it as per my requirement. For example, I'm going to make it something like 300 rupees. And I'm going to click on confirm amount. And then it will choose the best amount nearest to 300, which is fitting well. And then what I'm going to do is take a look at the review order section. यहाँ पे जो भी सेट ऑफ स्टॉक्स या जो भी सेट ऑफ ETFs में हम लोग इन्वेस्ट करने वाले हैं वो यहाँ पे आपको दिख जाएगा. करंट प्राइस जो अभी चल रहा है वो भी दिख जाएगा. Weightage in the portfolio and the number of quantities we are buying also will get displayed here. Now I'm going to click on invest now and I'm going to click on confirm orders. So once I do this in the current market setup at whatever rate it is running in the market, उस पे orders execute हो जाएगा. So as you can see, all the orders have been filled. So now if I click on see investments, I will be able to see under my investments that I have managed to invest in equity and gold portfolio. तो जब भी हमको चाहिए, we want to track our portfolio, what we can do is come to this platform, click on investments and नीचे यहाँ पे हमको हमारा portfolio दिख जाएगा. So now I'm going to click on equity and gold and we can see the current value of an investment करने के बाद what is the percentage return that we have got here in terms of rupees, in terms of percentage, and then what are the set of stocks that we have. Apart from this, at whatever point of time, if you feel like you want to invest more in this particular small case, आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पे invest more click करके you can again choose the investment amount you want, click on confirm amount, click on invest more and click on confirm orders. So ये करने से क्या होने वाला है, फिर से हमारे own portfolio में हम बार बार invest कर सकते हैं. So as you can see, again all the orders have been filled. Now if I come to see investments and go to equity and gold, I'll be able to see the current value of my investment as 550. First time investment plus second time investment put together. Now, how do I set up an SIP in a small case? We all know how SIPs work in the market. We are all aware of why the entire industry says do SIPs, do SIPs. So I'm not going to elaborate on why we should be doing SIPs, but that is the best way of investing. So अगर हमको एक small case में SIP करना है as traders or as investors, हमको क्या करना है, पहले यहाँ पे start SIP क्लिक करना पड़ेगा. Start SIP क्लिक करने के बाद हमको पहले हमारा SIP डेट चुनना है. Now I'm going to, I can choose any date of my choice. We can all choose, for example, the salary date, and then select frequency में we can choose any frequency of our choice. It could be weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, and so on. And then जो SIP amount हमको चाहिए ये SIP सेटअप करने के लिए, वो अमाउंट यहाँ पे हम लोग सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, एडिट कर सकते हैं, and then click on start SIP and continue. So now our SIP will get set up automatically. Now this is how you invest in any small case. Similarly, if we want to exit out of a small case, हमको क्या करना है? Maybe 1 year down the line, let us say I want to exit out of a small case. In that case, I'm going to come to investments, scroll down, select the small case that I want to get out of, and then I'm going to click on exit small case, and then click on exit small case over here and click on confirm orders. So ये करने से जो भी set of stocks या ETFs है हमारे पास, जो small case है हमारे पास, उससे हम exit हो जाएंगे automatically. As you can see here, all the orders have been filled. So this is how we as investors will be able to take advantage of small case as a platform. Basically go there, explore a lot of baskets or portfolios that are out there, and we'll be able to enter or exit out of small cases as and when we require. So essentially, these are direct equity investments. So now, what we can also do is take a look at how it works on the mobile platform, for example. So let us take a look at how it works on the mobile platform. So now I hope that my screen is visible to all of you. So over here, I've installed the Dhan app. Pehle, I want to click on the Dhan app, and then I want to input my mobile number and then click on proceed ahead. Now it will ask me for the PIN. So yahan pe, I'm going to put my PIN and click on continue. So now I've been successfully logged into the platform using my mobile app. So yahan pe, when we scroll down, we are able to see live small cases on Dhan right over here. So I'm going to click on that. And then all the small cases that I can invest in will be visible right over here. So if you want details about any particular small case, what you can do is directly click on that particular small case. For example, we had invested right now in equity and gold. So from the mobile interface, if you want to invest in equity and gold, what you can do is click on the investment button next to equity and gold. And it will take you to the same platform that we had seen in the direct equities, on the direct web portal, jahan pe we'll be able to see overview section about the small case, read about it, then click on stocks and weights or ETFs and weights, check out the stocks, ETF weightages, and so on. We can even customize our small cases if required. And then we can scroll down, see the performance of the small case. And then if we like it, niche, yahan pe invest now button aapko dikhai dega. You can click on invest now. And then you can either start the monthly SIP or the one-time investment. You can click on confirm amount, click on invest now, and click on confirm orders. So by doing this, again, you'll be able to place a small case order or invest in a basket directly using your own mobile app. So now in order to see the investments, you can click on see investments and you will be able to see your particular investment listed right over here. So this is how using the platform directly, you'll be able to invest in small cases using the mobile app. So apart from this, if you have any queries whatsoever about investing in small cases in general, or if you have any queries as to how you could take advantages of small cases, then the platform is open. All of you can start asking queries and we'll be more than happy to take queries that the audience is asking. So what are the charges for the buy or sell or rebalancing side in the small case via Dhan? So every time an order gets executed on the platform for any small case, there, irrespective of how much you're investing, it could be 5,000, it could be 10,000, it could be 50,000, 1 lakh, whatever it is, there will be a one-time fee of 100 rupees plus GST, which is 118. And uske alawa, aapko koi bhi charges nahi lagne wala hai. So you could have set up an SIP, you can invest more whenever you want. There will be no charges whatsoever on the platform for such kind of investments or repeat investments into the same small case. There will only be a one-time charge of 100 plus 18 rupees GST. Now, you also spoke about rebalancing. Rebalancing ke liye there will be no charges whatsoever. Rebalancing is a part of every small case. Rebalancing does not exist. It exists outside of this, charges point of view. So the idea of having rebalance is for the portfolio to be healthy in all the market conditions, for the portfolio to fit into the investment criteria or the philosophy in all market conditions. So keeping that in mind, there will be no charges for rebalancing today, tomorrow, or ever. So I hope that is clear.
Also, just want to quickly add to this that on Dhan, we don't charge you. Small cases are completely free.
Right.
Okay. So we have one more question actually from Pranav. So he's asking if auto balance will be done from Dhan or they'll have to do it manually.
So right now, the procedure for rebalancing works like this. Once you get how does the rebalancing basically work? Now, let us say there is an advisor, okay? And this particular advisor is pushing a rebalancing. So let us say out of 10 stocks, 2 stocks are going to be removed and 2 more stocks are going to be added in your particular basket. Now, what is going to happen? So in this case, the notification will come on your Dhan app, on your small case app, via SMS, via email, and you can even enable WhatsApp notifications on the platform. So via all these 5 modes, you will be notified that a small case has gone through a rebalancing. Now, what should you as an investor do? You have two options, either to accept rebalancing or skip rebalancing when it comes. If you accept rebalancing, at that point of time, automatically, those stocks which need to be sold will be sold, and those stocks which need to be added in its place will be added. So this is the process for rebalancing on Dhan. Now, if you skip rebalancing, what is going to happen? Till the next rebalancing, you will not receive any update. When the next rebalancing comes through, you will again be notified saying a rebalancing has been issued. Now it is up to you. Again, you'll have to either accept or you'll have to skip. But my personal suggestion would be to always accept rebalancing, because that is what keeps a portfolio healthy. You are investing in small case for a reason. And the reason is because you want to stay invested in a direct equity portfolio, which is constantly being monitored by a SEBI-registered advisor, changing according to the SEBI-registered advisor, and so on. So that is why you're invested in the small case, right? Rebalancing is the most important concept. So as and when it comes through, this is the process to follow. I would say it is semi-automatic. It gives you a consent-based mechanism where you have the option as a user, whether you want to accept or whether you want to skip. If you accept, it gets accepted. If you skip, it gets skipped. So I hope that answers your question on rebalancing.
So another question we have is, how is the brokerage calculated?
So the brokerage will be calculated. So if you're talking about brokerage that is calculated from Dhan's side, then whatever charges you're paying according to the delivery rates which Dhan charges, the same brokerage will be applicable. No additional brokerage will be applicable. And whatever statutory charges are there, which again you will be incurring based on any stock transaction, the same will be charged. So essentially, you'll be paying the delivery brokerage which Dhan is charging, nothing more than that.
So one more question is, are there any charges during buying, selling stocks that are in small case apart from 100 plus GST?
No, there's absolutely nothing. So most of the products that are out there in the markets, they generally tend to have a lock-in period. They generally tend to have exit loads and so on. On the small case platform, we have no such, I would say hidden charges per se. So when you invest in a small case, you can exit out of the small case even today. There will be no charges for that whatsoever. And there will be no lock-in period. So if you start investing in the portfolio today, you can exit out of the portfolio today. So you will not have to stay invested for a period of 1 year or for a period of 2 years, unlike many other products that are out there. So that is one more advantage that we can think of when you're doing small case investing.
So another question is that, say suppose there are 10 scripts in one basket. So how will the brokerage then be calculated?
So it will be, again, brokerages will be calculated depending on how Dhan is charging. So small case does not charge any sort of brokerage ever. And small case is just a platform where these portfolios exist. So whatever charges you're paying to Dhan normally when you're doing stock transactions, the same will be applicable even in this case.
And I would just like to add that on Dhan, your small case portfolio is marked separately. So that's the best part. So, it will not mix with other stocks in your portfolio. So in your portfolio section, you can just see, what are your holdings by your stocks, by ETFs, and then there's a separate section for small cases.
Right.
So another question is from Khagesh. He's asking, say, if we invest in a portfolio and one constituent stock has a buyback offer, can I participate in that? Will the small manager manage the corporate actions which require the investor decision?
Yes, everything is managed on the platform.
Okay, perfect.
So there is a question from an audience member. Adding or deleting of a stock in a small case will actually be done by an investor as per your advice, or will you do it at the year end for me in this particular small case? So what happens is every small case has a different rebalancing schedule. So there will be one small case where the rebalancing schedule could be once in a year. In such cases, like I said, when the rebalancing happens, you will get a notification on that particular date saying a rebalance has been done. So you will have a time frame. You can go ahead and rebalance whenever you wish. Now, if you have invested in a basket where the rebalancing is happening once in a quarter, in such cases, the rebalancing update will come to you once in a quarter. That is once in every 3 months. So once in every 3 months, your portfolio could be changing with the market condition. So at that point of time, once you get the notification, you will have to approve or skip it. That process is manual. Rest all is automated. Neither will we be doing it, neither will you have to manually do it. The system will do it automatically once you approve it. So the next question is, how do we unwind our existing investment in a small case? So like I showed you, you have to go to the platform, head over to investments, and over there, you will be able to see the small cases that you have invested in. Over there, you can select the small case that you want and simply click on the exit button and exit out of that particular small case. Then it is as simple as that. It should not take you more than a couple of minutes to exit out of a small case.
So we have a question from Krishna. Is asking if the people or entities who manage these cases, are they a part of small case team or they are independent entities, and how do these fund managers make money?
Right. So they are essentially independent managers. They are not managers or they're not associated with small case, apart from them having empaneled on the platform as advisors. So what small case essentially is a platform for SEBI registered advisors to come and start offering their advisory models. So on the platform right now, we saw an advisor called Windmill Capital. So Windmill Capital is actually a sister concern of small case, and many of the portfolios that have been designed, what you'll have to do is essentially go and see who the advisor is and research about the advisor yourself directly. So there are many other small cases also where a fee component could be attached to it. So that is something that the advisor can or cannot charge.
Do we have any more questions? So a follow-up question on that, is that the only way they make money, or like the fee component?
Yes, that is the only way. There is no other way, and there is no brokerage sharing. There is nothing of that sort whatsoever on the platform.
So we have one more question from Wasim. He's asking if only some of the small cases are available on Dhan, or like the small cases which are overall, like which are not a part of the free small cases, are they available as well?
Right. So as a user of Dhan, when you directly go to smallcases.dhan.co and if you log in, then there are specific small cases which have been chosen by the Dhan team after doing their own homework and research, which has been listed over there. But all the small cases are nevertheless available to you. You can directly come to the smallcase.com platform and log in using your Dhan account over there directly. So if you do that, all the small case, or you can basically come to the small case platform, browse through without logging in, browse through all the set of small cases available, and whichever one you like, you can log in at that point of time and invest in that. So you can do it either ways. If you go to smallcases.dhan.co, there are specific small cases which have been curated there, depending on depending on, I would say, what investors' requirement is on the Dhan platform. Wasim, yes, you're right. It will be deducted from Dhan.
We have a question from Prasanna, so I would just like to take it up. He's asking if how is small case fund then different than other brokers. So Prasanna, how we've built this whole experience for you, right? Is that it's a very integrated experience, so you wouldn't feel like that you're doing something additionally on Dhan, right? So the best part about purchasing small cases on Dhan is that you do not have to pay any charges which other brokers do charge. So on Dhan, small cases are free. And also, as I earlier pointed out, your portfolio will be marked separately. So you do not, have to go through the pain of going through, okay, which stocks are your own individual purchases versus which you've bought through a small case. So on Dhan, under the portfolio section, your small case portfolio will always be marked separately. I hope that helps. We have another question. So on rebalancing by small cases, selling charge for stockwise will be deducted from investor account, as you know how you would normally sell a stock.
Yes, it would be done the same way.
Okay. We have one more question from Wasim. He's asking if direct mutual funds are good or small cases.
So this is a common question that we tend to get all the time. So small cases and mutual funds are both have their own set of advantages, but both are essentially, I would say, different products that are out there. So mutual funds are meant for those kind of investors who want a very simple crude way of investing, and they do not want to get involved in the direct equity space too much, and that is for whom mutual funds is meant for. Small cases are essentially meant for those coming with a mindset to invest in the markets directly and to be able to take advantage of things like rebalancing which happens, and to basically participate in the direct equity space. And also there are plenty of thematic portfolios available on the small case platform. There are things like electric mobility, things like the great Indian middle class. These are portfolios, or these are themes which you will not essentially find anywhere else outside of the small case platform. So this is available exclusively on the small case platform. So I would say that small cases are slightly more complex products meant for investors who are excited about investing in the direct equity space and want to take or want to follow the path laid down by an advisor in terms of how a portfolio should get curated. So that is whom small cases is meant for.
Also, I think because it's semi-automatic, right? So you do have control over your investments, unlike a mutual fund wherein you do not have any control over it.
Yes.
So I think we've answered almost all of the questions, folks. Last 2 minutes before we wrap up. So if you have any questions, please do ask. So, Pranav, I would like to ask you, say, someone who's just starting to, invest in the markets, like, they've gotten their first job. So how do they go about doing that? Like, which small cases should they start with?
So the one thing that I would recommend all newcomers to the markets to do is, as a humble advice coming from you, is not to get into extreme short-term trading with a very short time frame or mindset. So doing this never really creates wealth in the long run, and experience has to speak for itself. And over a period of time, we all realize that. So a part, even if you want to take up extremely short-term speculation, you can keep aside a capital for that, but you'll have to cultivate the mindset of investing, and this is something that you have to mandatorily do. And the younger you do it, the more better it is, because you're allowing money to compound over a period of time. So let us say you're 30 years old, for example. Now you have 30 more years for your money to compound. But if you start investing at the age of 40, now you have only 20 years left to compound, and it creates a tremendous amount of difference. And if you're 25, then you have all the potential to allow your money to compound for a period of 35 years, which is quite a lengthy period of time. So my suggestion to you would be to have two strategies put in place. One is what we call as core investing in small case, where you pick up a basket which is a very stable basket, where you are not expecting quite a lot of returns, but you're expecting a stable amount of return. It could be somewhere around between 10 to 12%. So a basket like this, for example, could be all-weather investing, where you start allocating a part of your capital in that portfolio as an SIP. So it could be whatever you can afford. It could be 2,000 rupees a month. It could be 5,000 rupees a month, so on. Similarly, the next step that you should follow is take a basket which is more aggressive by nature, where the risk component is higher, but the reward is also higher. So over here, since you're investing for a period of 25, 30, 35 years, it should not matter to you too much as to whether this basket is risky or not. It should matter, but not too much, because in the long run, the markets will eventually go up. And we are talking the next 25, 30, 35 years. So in such cases, you have to allocate maybe 20 to 30% of your capital towards a core investing basket, which is less risky, and about 70% of your capital towards an investment. It could be something like dividend aristocrats, it could be whatever of your choice. Now, we also have goal-based investing small cases on the platform. It comes under the tag of Horizon small cases. So we have Horizon, which is ending in the next 30 years. We have Horizon small cases ending in the next 20 years and so on. So in these kind of small cases, what happens is the lesser the, let us say that you've chosen a small case, for example, which is ending 30 years from today. So most of the investment will happen in the equity space initially, and then a little bit of investment will happen in the gold space or the debt space. And eventually, as and when you're nearing the end goal, more capital will start getting allocated to debt and less to equity. So this is also, a personal suggestion of mine. It is not a recommendation, but a suggestion for you to just go ahead and explore on the platform. So we have Horizon small cases also available. So ultimately, if you're very young, the potential is endless. The thing is, you'll have to start and not delay starting your SIP journey. And it doesn't matter what kind of investment you choose. Ultimately, chances are that it is going to work out for you. So the barrier is for you to start the investment journey.
Great. I think that helps us all. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining in. Pranav, would you like to add anything? Otherwise, we'll wrap up the.
No. So I have one more question that I'd like to take from the audience. So there's a question which says, in a very volatile market as of now, will the rebalancing frequency increase? So it depends. Rebalance frequencies are usually fixated at any point of time, and only on that particular date will the rebalancing actually happen. But there are provisions where we call it as ad hoc rebalancing, where in case an untoward incident happens in the markets, let us say the markets suddenly change for whatever reason, or let us say one stock suddenly changes because there is a bad report on it, or there could be a management issue which crops up and so on. In such cases, the fund managers do have the flexibility to, I would say, initiate an on-spot rebalancing. So rebalancing will not become more and more when the markets start falling, but if it falls unexpectedly, then it could happen. But otherwise, there is a standard framework that we follow in all market conditions. So that is how rebalancing works. So with that said, I thank the audience for taking your time out, inquiring all the queries that you had today. And I hope that now all of you have a better understanding of what small cases are. And I hope all of you are really excited about starting your investment journey using this, the product that we have launched on the Dhan platform. So I hope that all of you have a fantastic journey with small cases, and always looking forward to having all of you come over to the next set of webinars that we'll be conducting, and wish you all the best for your future journey on the markets.
Thank you so much, Pranav, for demoing the product for us. And also, folks, if you have any queries, you can just regarding small cases, you can drop us a mail at feedback@dhan.co, or you can also reach out to us on our community, which is at community.dhan.co. And if you want more details about small case, then it's directly available on our website as well as on smallcases.dhan.co, where you will be able to see all the small cases that are available for you to invest. So get started with investing.